Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from November 20th to the 26th, and it's the week of Thanksgiving. So I am using this Paper Crown Planner kit, and this kit is actually the reason why I took a bit of a break from planning. It's not the kit's fault, but this is a printable, and when I went to go print it, my printer was not working. Basically what happened was on glossy paper, when you use black, you have to make sure that you set the paper to glossy. And I did. But the black was still not mixing with the color ink properly, and it was smearing all over the place. And I had this problem for weeks. I was going insane. I wasted so much sticker paper on trying to fix the problem. I couldn't find anything on Google. I posted in forums. I couldn't find anybody who had the exact same problem as I did. Like, just every single tip I saw was make sure your paper is set to glossy. Yeah. And like, what else? It was a nightmare. I came close to taking apart my printer. My boyfriend actually brought me over a printer to try, and that printer wasn't working. And then it dawned on me to take the black ink out. And if you're like, no shit, you should have done that from the beginning. My printer that I had before this one, that was not an option. If you wanted to print anything, even if it was all black and white, you needed every single color plus black fully loaded. Like, you couldn't just print in black if you were out of yellow, which is so stupid. And it was like the shittiest printer. People would complain about it online. Of course, this is after I've had it for years, but I saw that like a lot of people would complain that when you choose black, it still mixes the colors in and like wastes your color. Whatever, doesn't matter. I digress. The point is, that's why it didn't dawn on me to take the black out and see how things would go. Now, you can barely tell. There is a little bit of a difference. All of the black, is more of a gray, but it's so slight that it's fine. If this is how I have to print from now on, maybe it'll be an issue around like Halloween when everything's black. That might be a problem. But until then, this is what we're doing. I can't remember if I mentioned what this kit is, but it's from Paper Crown Planner, and this is called Thanksgiving Dinner. And like, of course, that's, I used it this week because it was Thanksgiving. Not much of an explanation there. Now, I've sort of been dreading doing this voiceover because this was a terrible, 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 terrible week. And I honestly don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. But I also just didn't want to skip a spread. And I don't know. I'm going to try to say everything without having to like redo this voiceover. So I don't know. Here we go. The things that happened this week that made this a terrible week, it's basically Thanksgiving. For the past few years, I have been just tagging along with Joe to go to his family's Thanksgiving. But my grandmother has been begging me for years, and we've actually gotten into a lot of arguments, a lot of fights over this. She's been begging me to go to Thanksgiving. And I've mentioned this in other Plan With Me's, but my sister and I, we don't speak, we don't talk. I haven't seen her in like 7 years. I want nothing to do with her. But my grandma asked if I would go to Thanksgiving if my sister apologized to me. And so she sent me some half-assed apology on Instagram. And so I was like, fine, a deal is a deal. I will go to Thanksgiving, but don't expect the world. My grandma has this like fantasy that my sister and I are gonna like be close again. It's never gonna happen. So anyway, to make a long story short, it was absolutely terrible. When I first got there, my grandmother was like full of her bullshit, and she was like, I really think she's ready. And I'm like, ready for what? Like, what do you, like, it's, if I'm ready, and I'm never going to be ready. But for my grandmother, I tried to make nice, and it was a fucking nightmare. Oh my God. It was so bad. I will never be going to my family's Thanksgiving ever again if she is there. And honestly, probably never. I don't want to do Thanksgiving anymore. To be completely honest, I don't want to do holidays. I hate them. They're terrible. They haven't been good since like my early 20s. They've just been shit ever since, and I don't want to do it anymore. Sorry, this is not a happy plan with me, but maybe some of you can relate, sort of. Anyway, that's like the main thing that happened this week, and it just like, I was essentially very depressed from Thanksgiving up until after New Year's. I didn't have a single good day. It was really shitty. But anyway, that's mainly what happened. There was other stuff that didn't go very, well, but we'll get into it. So, starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that I headed home to do work like I usually do because I work from home on Monday, and this came with, I want to say the kit I used. No, it might be this kit. I think this little house just came with the kit. Under that, I marked I was just very unmotivated. I've been very unmotivated lately regarding my job. I just don't want to do it. So I used a procrastinating munchkin to mark that. Then I had some extra space, so I used this Papershire flat lay to mark my workout, and I marked that I did Slim in 6 because that's just like a no-brainer for me. I have it almost memorized, so whenever I need to work out but like don't really want to, that's what I do. Then with another sticker, I believe from the kit, this cleaning sticker, I marked that I tidied up the apartment and did some cleaning. Then I prepped my lunches for the week. Couldn't tell you what I had. Oh, no, it must have been sweet potatoes because that's the only thing I really like prep. I've been getting a little better about making multiple lunches at one time, but anyway, yeah, it must have been sweet potatoes. So I prepared my lunches for the week and used a munchkin to mark that. Then with the Papershire sticker, I thought the sticker was perfect to mark this. I fixed the zipper on my chair. I have an IKEA armchair and the covers come off, and I wanted that because it's the type of fabric that cats would love to mess up. And because I can unzip it and take the cover off, I can like fix all of their little snags. But this one day I was just really angry and I accidentally pulled the zipper like too hard, and I didn't think it was fixable, and I wanted to order a replacement cover, but they no longer sell this chair at IKEA. So I was a little distraught. Joe tried to fix it. He couldn't fix it. But then one day, like this day, Monday, I realized that the problem is the zipper, like the little piece that holds the zipper together, is too loose. So I took some pliers and just tightened it, and it fixed the problem. So that was a big relief because I don't want an armchair with just the cover open. That would look stupid. And then the final thing for Monday with a Christmas shopping munchkin was that Joe and I went through a bunch of receipts and our bank statements and everything because we had been bad about like paying each other back for things. So we were just seeing like who owed what to who. And it took a really long time. It took much longer than I thought because I did all of it. He checked his bank account because I don't have access to that. But besides that, I went through all of the receipts just because that's my job. So it sucked. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked with this pillow. I don't remember where it's from. It's definitely from a kit, though. I marked that I slept in a little bit. Then my period started this day, and this blood drop is from Once More with Love. This sleeping munchkin is also from Once More with Love, and I marked in office. Then I had to walk home in rain. It was terrible. It was just bad. So I used a Papershire sticker to mark walking in the freezing rain. Then I just used one of these stickers that came with the kit, and it says plan next week. I didn't plan next week. I filmed a plan with me, but it works. It's fine. You know what I mean. With another, I think this is like I don't remember what it's called, but basically like you're done with the holidays. This munchkin, I marked that I did some very unsuccessful Christmas shopping. It was this year, I'm telling you, the holidays. Could not stand them. Could not stand shopping. Like, I didn't want anybody to buy anything for me. I didn't want to buy anything for anybody else. I didn't want to see anybody. I just wanted to stay home with my cats and just exist. That's all I wanted. With this bad day munchkin, I just cut the text off the bottom and used it to mark that I picked my scalp. And I'm really upset. I have, what's it called? It's not dermatillomania. It's the other one. Dermatillomania, I think, is when you pick your skin. I pick my scalp. There's a name for it. Can't remember it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I hadn't picked my scalp for almost a full year, and that's the longest I've gone since I was 18 without picking my scalp. But ever since the weather got colder, my scalp started producing like a ton of, this is gross, oil, and like it was really dry at the same time, so I had dandruff, and my scalp was super itchy because it was so dry, and so scratching my head so much brought back the habit of like picking at my scalp. So I was very upset because I just went so long without doing it. Anyway, sorry, long explanation for that. And then the final thing for Tuesday, with a munchkin wrapped up in a blanket, I marked that I had to bundle up for bed because my room was so cold, and the heat just doesn't really work well in here, and there's like no insulation, so it was a pretty cold night. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with a do not disturb munchkin was that I slept in. Then once again, I walked to work and used, I think this is a GP Studio sneaker. With this not today munchkin, I marked that the office was dead. Like, I was kind of mad that I came in because my boss wasn't there. And then when I realized that my only other coworker wasn't there either, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm going home. So on my break, I decided to walk back home, and I used a house that came with the kit for that. This, I believe, is an insomnia munchkin, but I used it to mark decision paralysis. After work, I like couldn't decide what I wanted to do first, and I just froze for a while. But eventually I got down to business and made the cauliflower dish that I used to make for Thanksgiving. My grandmother requested it, so I made it. And then I didn't mark this, but just a little tidbit. I texted my grandmother and confirmed 3 separate times that there would be room in the oven for the cauliflower, because if there wasn't, I was going to bake it ahead of time, and then they'd just have to reheat it. But obviously it tastes better fresh. And she said that she confirmed with my uncle and his boyfriend that there would be room. I double, triple checked. She's like, yes, there's room. There was no room. There was no room when I got there. I could have killed myself. Anyway, I used a pumpkin paper coat Terra to mark making the cauliflower. I also finished an audiobook while I was cooking, and I used an Olive Studio sticker for that. And I do know I came prepared. The audiobook that I was reading is called The Turn of the Key. The Turn of a Key. Okay, I guess I'm not that prepared. The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I believe this was a recommendation, and it was good. I liked it. The ending was a little sus. I had to like look up what people thought happened, but it was good. I liked it. I would give it like 3.5. So yeah, that's the book that I finished. I did like it. It's about, you can look it up. I'm not going to bore you with that. Anyway, then this is leftover deco from another kit. I just used it to mark that Joe dropped off some stuff that I needed that I forgot at his place. And then the final thing, I used another one of these like fed up Christmas munchkins to mark that I stayed up until 4 a.m. trying to Christmas shop for Joe, and I found nothing. I was getting so anxious about this. I couldn't think of a single thing to get him. It was terrible. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I was in a very bad mood, and I used a munchkin for that. With this emoji running late, I marked that I slept through my alarm. Another annoying thing, I'm telling you, this was just a recipe for disaster. I should have never gone. My mom asked me Wednesday when I was planning on getting to Thanksgiving, and I said, I have no idea. Nobody's told me when it is. And she said, it's at 4. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll try to get there at like 3:30. I'm not sure, or 3. Well, my grandma messages me in the morning, and that's actually what ended up waking me up. She wanted to have Thanksgiving at 3. And then she's like, no, we always do it at 3. And I'm like, we have never once done Thanksgiving at 3, but okay, you live your fantasy. So annoying. So then I was rushing, and I used an alarm clock from Sticky Perks to mark, why so fucking early? Like, why? Who wants to eat dinner at 3? Not me. She wanted it to be 2:30. She wanted it to be 2:30, but they fought her on it and made it 3. Stupid. Especially because I'm the only one who has to travel like an hour to get there. Anyway, moving on. After I finally started making my way to Thanksgiving, I was driving on a road I'd never driven on before, and there was a yellow light, and I slammed on my brakes because I wasn't sure if I could make the yellow and I didn't want to get a ticket. Well, the cauliflower in my backseat went flying, and some of it fell all over my floor. And it's got cheese and breadcrumbs, and I was very upset. And I even remembered when I left the parking spot, I'm like, this is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. Anyway, I used a worrying munchkin to mark that. I eventually found a gas station to pull into, and I don't know where this gas pump is from. I've had it for years, finally getting to use it. But I pulled over. Luckily, I had a bunch of napkins and stuff, and I cleaned up my car. And fortunately, most of the cauliflower was saved. Then, with these arguing munchkins, I marked the worst Thanksgiving ever. We've been over this. We know why. With a crying munchkin, I marked that I cried my way all the way to my best friend's family's Thanksgiving, and they were eating at 5 like normal people. So I was early. Like, they hadn't even started dinner when I got there. But yeah, it was about a 45-minute drive, and I cried the entire way there. And I wanted to go home, but I didn't think that I was like in a mental state to drive on all of the highways, especially right outside the city where people think that it's like GTA 5. And I didn't want to like get in an accident or anything, and I could like barely see through my tears. So that's why I went to Megan's, because it's all like deserted roads and farmland in between point A and point B. So that just felt like a safer option, and I just needed to get out of there. So then I didn't have room to mark it, and I really wanted to use this sticker, but it's just to mark this. I also think is a Once More with Love sticker. It's really cute. I marked, going to Megan's family for Thanksgiving. Then I realized very late, I think I stayed there until like 10 o'clock at night. I realized I forgot something at my grandmother's house, and I had to drive all the way back there. I drove so much this day, and I hate driving. So I made my way the 45 minutes back to her house, and I used a tired emoji to mark that because I was very tired. And the one good thing that came out of all of this was my grandmother finally understood me. She said she will never ask me to do that ever again. She was like, I saw that you tried. I will never ask you to ever talk to her ever again. So that was good. And I used, this is from a freebie from Once More with Love, this Band-Aid heart sticker. Then, where is this from? I think Scribble Prints Co., this alarm clock. I marked that I didn't get home until midnight, a little after midnight. And I was kind of scared. But because it was a holiday, a lot of my neighbors were out of town, and I got a parking spot right out front. So I just had to cross the street, and I was in my building, so it wasn't too scary. And this car came with the kit. Then with a Sweet Kawaii, is it Sweet Kawaii design? No, something. It's been so long. I've had this sticker for so many years. I don't know, 8 years. I don't remember the name of the shop. Anyway, this black cat I used to mark that I just cuddled with the cats in bed. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was, I actually mislabeled this. I wrote more PTO. It's not PTO. We get Thursday. I guess it's technically paid time off, but I didn't use my vacation days, if you know what I mean. They just give us the Friday off, so that was good. If I had work on Friday, I don't know what I would have done. I would have lost my mind. And I used a day off munchkin for that. Then I think this is my last pumpkin paper Kotera, this little cozy reading with a cat sticker. I almost didn't use it, but what's the point in hoarding it? And it matches this kit really well. So I used that to mark that I just laid in bed with the cats for a very long time. Eventually, I pulled myself out of bed and decided to pull some stickers for Plan With Me. And this is either from Apple Blossom Prints Co., I think, or Scribble Prints Co. They have the same, it's not called clip art, but you know what I mean. They have the same artwork, so I don't remember. Under that, with an In My Feelings munchkin, I marked that I was very anxious and very upset. I was just not doing well. Then with this little phone, I have no idea where I got this, and I don't even know if you can tell it's a phone, and I think I put it upside down. Doesn't matter. I just got a very concerning text from someone I don't even know very well, but it was like weird. She was looking for somebody, and she thought maybe they would be with Joe, and they weren't because he was in New York with his family. Anyway, that was odd. Then with this workout sticker from the kit, I marked that I did a workout. Then I called Megan because I don't remember why. Doesn't matter. I called her, and this phone is from the kit as well. Then Joe was finally back from New York City, so I went to his place to see him and used these munchkins for that. And then with another Once More With Love munchkin sticker, I marked that we watched the challenge. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that I was angry in the morning. I was very angry, and I used this angry munchkin to mark that. And then with this munchkin rolling her eyes, I just marked that I was so annoyed with Joe at this point. I was just in such a bad mood. He didn't do anything wrong, and I was just like, I hate you right now. I'm telling you, I'm blaming Thanksgiving. It really messed with me. With an In My Feelings munchkin, I marked that I just wasted the entire day. I didn't want to do anything. I was depressed. And then I started getting really anxious because I was wasting the day. So we decided to, even though it was really cold, we walked to CVS to pick up my prescription. And then we just stopped in Urban Outfitters to browse, didn't find anything. And I accidentally used a yoga mat to mark this. I don't know why I thought this was a workout that I was marking. But whatever, it's fine. The sneaker works. And the sneakers from the kit, yeah, no, yes, no, yes. I think the sneakers from the kit. The yoga mat is a printable from the same shop, Paper Crown Planner. With a litter munchkin, I marked that I drove home to take care of the cats. Then I went back to Joe's and we got pizza from this place called Mad Greeks. It was okay. It was average. It wasn't amazing, but he wanted to try it, so we tried it, and it was edible. The crust was very plain, if I remember correctly. And this is an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then with a munchkin shopping a sale, I marked that both of us were trying to Black Friday shop and, again, find gifts for people, and we weren't really that successful. I got a couple things for myself, which was cool, but, shopping for gifts, it was a struggle. And then the final thing we did on Saturday was attempt to watch The Golden Bachelor. It was entertaining for the first couple episodes, but we fell off it. It got really boring. And once again, another munchkin sticker. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I slept through another alarm, and this alarm clock is from the kit. Then with an In My Feelings munchkin, I marked that I was just angry, anxious. I was just in a terrible mood. What else is new? But we decided to go drive to Walmart to get my Red Bull and whatever else I needed for the week. And it was good to get out because I was just spiraling. With this Stick With The Plan Co. Raincoat Girl sticker, I marked that it was rainy and cold. And then I never know when I'm going to use these Halo Munchkin heads, so I figured this sort of worked in my head, but I was able to sort of reset my mood after changing my environment, going out for a little bit. Then when we got back, I called one of my good friends. He had some gossip for me, and I think this phone is from Sticky Perks. Then with another flat lay, I believe this is actually from the kit. This kit came with some flat lays, which was really cool. I marked that I read. Then with a holiday TV, I marked that we watched SNL. And the final thing for Sunday was that I had really bad Sunday scaries and ended up staying up so late, I think till 3 a.m. because I just couldn't sleep because I was dreading Monday. And I used an Insomnia Munchkin to mark that. So yeah, that is everything for this week. I'm really happy with the way the spread turned out. I think it's really pretty for such a shitty week, so that's fun. But yeah, we're finally into December, which is very exciting, and I guess that's it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.